Today, our hero highlight is going to be by Ruben Carrillo, which I'm going to just go ahead and have you add time because I noticed that your slide, you have a slide about your service, so you can do that then. And this is Ruben's information. Ruben is an artist. We've known each other for several years now, and he is a digital marketing guru is going to talk to us about one QR. And if you need to reach out to him, he'll have his information in the chat as well. So I'm going to stop share so I don't take away your time. Go ahead and if you could set the clock to 17 minutes for Ruben. And if you don't need that long, that's fine. But that should take us to, yeah, that'll give us enough time to wrap up.
Okay. Angela, can you see this?
I see it. It looks great.
Okay, good. Okay, here's basically, it's basically the presentations, a journey to the present. Back in 64, I signed up for 7 years in the Army Guard as a medic. So my first exposure to the corporate world was with Pfizer Pharmaceutical on the West Coast. That's where I represented them. And at that time, another fellow veteran friend of mine wanted to develop a book on what we did with physicians in Pfizer. We were called Detail Man. So he did a book on all of the things that we experienced, etc. And I first started painting at that time, and then I developed an interest in doing covers. And this is one of the book covers. It's available on Amazon, and it gives a lot of information, different recipes, etc. I got disenchanted with Pfizer Pharmaceuticals for a various number of reasons, and one of them I didn't realize it was the approach towards medicating. And so with that, I got involved in Shotokan karate, and I won a free trip to Hawaii. My sensei, and I said, "This is great." I'm between jobs. I just left Pfizer. He said, "Yeah." I said, "What do I have to do, Sensei?" He said, "You have to fight the people there." Well, what I didn't know, what he didn't tell me, I was a purple belt at that time. There's a green belt on the side there. All these guys here were international black belt guys. And a gentleman there was from Japan. Him and his buddy started working on my toes and broke a couple of them that he was trying to come down to finish me off. And as you can see, I had it right in his jugular, right in his apple, and got him down. And of course, all the flags went up, and they said I went to street fighting, and that was that was an interesting time. But anyway, I got really interested in being healthy. So what happened is I just decided to move to Nashville, Tennessee. And the vehicle that got me to Nashville, Tennessee was a sign company out of Torrance, California called Gulf Development. And what we did basically is we show people how to create an outdoor sign on their business outside that will compare to, McDonald's or whatever. They couldn't afford that. So a company out of Compton, California, and actually it was in Torrance, did these modular signs. And what I did the artwork, then went into the business owner's place of business and popped it up there and showed them how the sign would look and draw it out. And so that took me, it was really an interesting place. It took me to places I've never been to before. I opened up Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, all across Tennessee. And it just opened up my eyes to a different way of meeting people and understanding what they face in developing a small business, which is basically attracting people to their business and increasing revenue. And so I got involved with calling on eye surgeons. I got back into that for 34 years and then retired. And this is a company called Alcon Laboratories. It's out of Fort Worth, Texas, and they primarily deal with eye doctors. Surgical instruments for cataract surgery. The division I was in was the eye drops for both them and optometrists. So 34 years I spent with them. And then things started changing. I had apparently a high blood sugar level, cholesterol level. And so I went to a doctor, and this particular doctor was in St. Louis. He was moving, and I asked him why he was moving. He said, I'm getting out of what I'm doing here, and I'm going to go to Washington, D.C., and teach people how to get off drugs and be healthy. And I said, well, what's all that about? And he said he wanted to treat people to get off drugs. Well, at that time, this company approached me when I was in my artwork in a convention center, and it was called For Life. And basically, what For Life was, it's a company out of Sandy, Utah, near Salt Lake. They're international, and they were the only ones in the physician's desk reference manual. And of course, I'm familiar with that. And apparently, it's based on this research by Dr. Lawrence back in 1949. He isolated white blood cells, and basically, they developed polio vaccines from it. And they call this technique transfer factors. Okay. And when they showed me the data and showed me that it wasn't a physician's desk reference manual, it led to a lot of credibility to me. So I started taking it. They monitored my blood every 3 months. My cholesterol was down, manageable levels. My blood sugar levels have been down, manageable. And I still see my regular physician. They know I'm on this, and things are working out pretty good, especially the fact that I'll be celebrating my 82nd birthday this coming July. So of in itself, I was really, really impressed. My family is on these. There's different types of supplements, one for the eyes, one for your to get your appetite and regular, so you won't be eating sweets a lot, things like that. But that's essentially the journey. And what brought me to this is I needed to promote the products in networking live. This is prior to COVID. And so I had to use different techniques because, when you're in a room full of realtors or contractors like in BNI, and you're promoting your artwork or whatever that is, you got to stand out among them. So I was introduced to this company called Shuffle. Been with them for maybe, many, many, many years. Now they've evolved to a new platform called 1QR. So the slogan that I came up with, show who you are with 1QR. It's basically using technology, starting out with a QR code. But when people do get your QR code, there's other things that are developed within that. Landing pages, a number of different things. So if you can scan this with your phone, you will see how I developed this system to promote this particular event, which is basically health and of the supplements for life. And the next one is one that our dear friend in our audience right now introduced me to, and it was send out cards. And I use this not only in promoting send out cards, but also utilizing it with my wife, who's a realtor. She has these cards that go out weekly. Right now, we're celebrating the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team, and they have a calendar. So in front of the card is a calendar, and the back is their information with their QR code. And when they scan her QR code, it takes her to a landing page where people fill out the information and they get her information. This particular one here if you can scan this, you'll see how this opens up this particular business opportunity as well. So you can change anything you want. The main thing is that you only have to do it once, because everything is on a you download a free app on your phone. So you may have about 50 of these different QR codes designed for different components of your business or your offerings, but you change the destination link in your phone, and then when someone scans it, you automatically get an announcement that who they were exactly and how you can follow up with them, and it gives you all the analytics that you need. And here's the one here for my artwork that I'm currently working on now. The project that I'm working on now, since I have two accounts for the Lineable, one is for the QR codes and one's for my art, is I'm painting with veterans now. They paint to heal. I paint to market. So what I did with this one here, 3 months ago, I started posting my artwork on Instagram. I started with 200 followers at that time. Right now in 3 months, I'm up to 900 followers. And what I did is I used Instagram's tool of pairing my artwork with music. And that's what bumped up the following. So now the veterans are asking me how I'm going to monetize it. And what I chose to do, I wanted to make it real easy for them, because marketing your artwork today is very difficult. Like myself, I had to set up a tent. Some of my artwork blew away in strong winds or whatever, but you got to do it. And you have to find maybe a gallery that'll take it. It's a very difficult process. Well, these veterans that I paint with, they're not into that. They don't have the means and the whereabouts to go there. So I wanted to at least, if they're going to monetize it, maybe there might be a chance for them to get some residual income, not a high commission or whatever, but something that'll work for everybody. So when you scan this particular one and you go into my profile on Instagram, I put in a link for a print by demand company. And that company makes coffee cups out of my art, yoga mats out of my art, wall art, anything that you need, iPhone covers out of my art. And it's a broad-based offering. And you don't make too much commission, but still, the orders that I'm getting in for the greeting cards and for those that I mentioned prove to me that this particular model may work. And that's what I'm currently working on now, is to enhance this for the vets. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the sharing. And here we go. There we go, Angela.
That's great. Thank you so much, Ruben. Does anybody have any questions for Ruben?
Great presentation, Ruben.
Thank you. Thank you.